Alright guys, in this video I'm going to discuss about product planning. So a product is considered to be a failure when it doesn't do well in the market, and this can happen due to various reasons. For example, it can be due to not enough people that buying the product, or the product itself doesn't stick around long enough than what the company thought it would for whatever reasons. So this is among the few examples of product that fail to gain traction in the market. So you have the Google Glass and the Apple Lisa computer, the Galaxy Note 7 and this Cheetos lip balm. And you can refer to these websites for much more examples about product failures. And there are several reasons on why some product fail in the markets. Okay, so first, it is about the incorrect market research. So sometimes marketers don't quite get the market climates right. They might think that there is a demand for that product. However, in reality, there is no market demand, or the marketer maybe misread the customer preferences. Then there is this issues of a poor marketing plan. Okay, so if you don't have a strong plan to get your product out there is a chances that your product's not going to sell very well and it won't succeed. And even if the plan is good, but if the plan is not implemented well, then there's another roadblock for the successful product launch. Apart from that, positioning also play a big role. Okay, so if a product isn't positioned well, so meaning the product is not presented to the right customer in the right way, and this can cause the missed opportunity. So it's like this is a bit a sad story, but it's like you love the wrong person and you put the effort, okay, and you put your effort at the wrong place. Okay, so yeah, pity you. And then quality and performance of the products are also crucial. Okay, so if the product doesn't have the right feature, or the product doesn't perform well, then the customers not going to continue using your products, or even, okay, so even worse, they are going to stay away from the product. Okay, so it's like this man is running from this lady. Oh, pity the lady. Okay, and don't also, okay, so also don't forget about advertising. So ineffective advertisings that fail to grab the attentions or communicate the product's benefits also is the reason why a product can be fail. Okay, so ineffective advertisings can be a death sentence for a product success. And then price is also another factor. So if a product is priced too high or too low, then it can turn your potential buyers off. Okay, so it's basically about finding the sweet spot, okay, in choosing the right price for your product. And then distributions, okay, distribution supports is also an essential aspect. So if a product isn't available when the customer wanted it, okay, so the customer is going to be you can say a bit struggle to find your products, right? So if this happen, so there is high chances that the customer find for another alternative. And another factor is the return of investment or ROI and the market profitability. Okay, so if the product doesn't bring in enough profit, okay, so the product is not going to be sustainable in the long run. And finally, timing. Okay, so timing is everything. Okay, so if you launch the product too early, or if you launch the product a bit too late, and this might be not resonate with the market. Okay, so this is among several reasons on why product might not make it in the competitive world of businesses. So remember, the market is really competitive and it is a tough market out there. But at least, okay, so at least if you understand all this pitfall, so you can strategize better to avoid of having a product that will fail to capture the customer interest. So just to recap, there are several stages in product development process. Okay, and we will cover this part here, planning. Okay, so planning basically, um, why planning is important, I will explain it in detail later. Yeah. Okay, so from a company perspective, in order to grow, right, they need to develop a new and much better product, and they need to offer something that spark an interest among their prospect or their potential customer. Okay, so one of the strategy is by having a careful product planning. Okay, so product planning is about managing the time, resources, and quality. And usually, all the company are using a project management tools to keep things on track. Okay, so product planning is basically an activity that consider the portfolio of the project of the organizations that where the organization might pursue. Okay, so so product planning can be described as the process of evaluating and setting the range, detail, and pricing for both new and existing product. Okay, so we all this product planning, okay, so they are done based on what the market currently needs and what it might need in the future, as well as considering what the competitor are doing. And product planning decisions generally involve the top management and the line managements. Okay, and this of course depend on the company and the specific product that being developed. So here you have the line management. Okay, so line management usually handle the more detailed aspect of the product planning. Okay, so this include the day-to-day decisions. Okay, so the line management usually who make the more specific choices about the product features, the product design, and the product implementations. Okay, and this line management who usually work closely with the product on a regular basis and have a more hands-on role. Okay, so in the nutshells, both group play a crucial role in the product planning, but at different stages and level of decision making. And of course, for the product planning, right, this process may take place only annually or a few times, maybe in certain certain interval of years. So can you think what is the problem if we do not have a proper product planning? Okay, so you may pause this video for a brief of time and think about what is the issues if we don't have a proper product planning. Okay, so as we saw in the previous slide, okay, there are few factors that can lead to a product that is not doing well in the market. Okay, so that's why product planning is so crucial. So basically a product planning acts, okay, it acts like a first checkpoint to prevent all of these failures. Okay, so you can think of product planning as sorting through a bunch of project ideas and picking the best one. Okay, so picking the best one to focus over a certain period of time. So basically, product planning is about asking this list of questions here. Okay, so for example, what are the company financial targets? Okay, so maybe this can include setting the sales goal or the profit margins. Okay, so setting a financial goal is crucial. Okay, so maybe take for example this, we have a cosmetic company who might set a target of 1 million in sales for a new skincare during the first year of launching. Okay, so a company for example might aim for a certain return of investment or ROI, okay, from a specific new product. Okay, so basically one of the important is the financial target. And then we also should ask what market segment should we target. Okay, so this is about identifying the specific group of customer to focus on. Okay, so for example, a fitness gear company, okay, so they might target a health conscious individual or professional athlete. And then another questions to ask is what new technologies that will go into the product. Okay, so deciding on the incorporations of new technologies can give a product a competitive edge. Okay, so for example, here you have this Vision Pro, right? So for example, if you can integrate any of this Vision Pro into a new product, maybe this can give you a competitive edge compared to the alternative product that is available out there. And then another questions are, okay, what are our manufacturing goals? Okay, so this relate to the objective for producing the product. Okay, so for example, if you have a furniture manufacturers, okay, so they might be aim for a high quality product using, for example, sustainable materials. Okay, or maybe for example a clothing brand that might aim to use a sustainable material in all of its product by certain years. And then another question is what mix of product should we make? Okay, so this involves deciding the variety of the product that we are going to offer. Okay, so for example here we have a smartphone manufacturer who might take for example consider whether to produce a budget phone or maybe to produce a flagship model, or maybe to mix both of the specification here, okay, a budget and a flagship model, in order to cater to a different customer segments. And then this is also quite important, I think. So okay, so what budget and schedule should we target? Okay, so this is about setting the financial limits and timeline for the product development. Okay, and I think this is also important, that I believe you encounter this during your FYP, right? So in your first 2 weeks or in your first semesters, right, you have been tasked to set a budget and a schedule on when certain milestone you need to reach for your FYP. Okay, so setting a budget and timeline is essential. Okay, so for example, a software company. Okay, so a software company might allocate a specific budget, and maybe they set a 6-month development cycle for a new app. Okay, so yep. And then of course, after you have developed the product, then you need to think, when should you release the product? Okay, so timing is critical. Okay, so like I mentioned just now, if you release the product too early or too late, okay, this can impact in the success of the product. So take for examples, right? Okay, so since now it's Raya, right? So if you are releasing a baju Raya maybe during Christmas season, okay, maybe the sales for the baju Raya might be a bit lower compared to if you release your new design of baju Raya maybe 2 weeks before the Raya festive. Or take another example. Here we have a toys, right? So a toy company, they might plan to release a new toy just before the holiday season, or maybe during just before 2 or 3 weeks before the Christmas times. So all of these can determine whether you will have high profit or not. Okay, so the idea of when should you release the product will impact on your sales. Okay, and then the next questions is, what budget and schedule should we target? So this is about setting financial limits and timeline for the product development. Okay, so setting a budget and timeline is essentials. Okay, so next is, what product should we develop? Okay, so of course, company usually they have multiple product that they want to develop, but which one is the priority? Okay, so of course this decision is about identifying which product idea should be brought to life. Okay, so for examples, right, a car manufacturers, okay, so for instance, they might decide to develop electric vehicles in response to increasing environmental concerns. Okay, so this is the step for product planning process, and we will cover each of these stages. So to evaluate and prioritize project, we use four. Okay, so we have these four main checklists here. So we have the competitive strategy, market segmentation, technological trajectories, and product platform planning. These checklists help us assess a project in a strategic and comprehensive way. Okay, all of this ensures that we consider factors such as competition, target market, technology trends, and product planning when making decisions about projects' importance. Okay, so first we're going to discuss about technological trajectories. Okay, so now if you look at the technology, right, any technology that you take, you will see a particular pattern in the technology development. Okay, so let's consider this bicycle here as an example. Okay, so you can assume this bicycle as a product. Okay, so what was the first kind of bicycles looks like? Okay, originally they were quite basic in design and functionality as shown in this time lapse. So the initial design were, yeah, you can say it, a bit simple and rudimentary in design and the performance. However, the performance of these bicycles improved slowly. So as time passed, more and more people began working on improving the bicycle technology. And yeah, maybe after certain times of after certain period of times, right, there was a surge in the development of these bicycles. Okay, so maybe the innovator introduced a new material, or maybe they introduce a new design, or maybe a new manufacturing techniques that lead to a better bicycles. Okay, so over time, all of these enhancement significantly improve the performance and the comfort of the bicycles. However, um, there is a limit to how much you can improve the technology. Okay, so after a certain point, the rate of improvements slows down. Okay, so the technology matches, and there might not be much room left for a drastic enhancement. So this means that while the bicycles, okay, so continues to evolve, continues to improve, however the pace of significant improvement slow down. Okay, so of course you could not endlessly increase the efficiency or speed of a bicycle. Okay, so remember, in any product or any technology, there is a physical limit to all of this enhancement. Okay, so um, whenever a new technology appears, okay, so basically it will go through a certain stages. So initially it will progress slowly, then suddenly there is this burst of growth. Okay, so a lot of people start working on it, and all of these innovators, right, they will create a various product, and eventually we realize that the technology has reached its peak and it cannot really advance much more further. So at this stage we might need something new, okay, or maybe a totally new design. Okay, so this whole process, if you notice, right, this whole process, there is a pattern on it. Okay, so the as you can see here, right, in this graph, it basically follow a S curve. Okay, or sometimes they call it as S curve of technology. Okay, so basically it is just a concept that explain on how technologies evolve over time. And this S curve, okay, it can be observed in many products. Okay, so you can see it, be it in the computer or telephones. Okay, so take for example here, at the transitions of a car. So we have seen, I think in first or second weeks, right, in the beginnings, a car were based on a horse carriage, and then they evolved to use internal combustion engines, and nowadays we have electric vehicles like Tesla. But of course, there's a limit to how efficient this electric vehicle can become. Okay, so they will come a point where you cannot push the efficiency of the car any further, and when you reach this limit, maybe new technology, take for example a new fuel cells, start to appear and become more popular. Okay, so when you brainstorming for your product, right, for your assignment, it is super important to check out the current technological trends. Okay, so in product planning, so it is important to understand the three key stages when introducing new technologies. Okay, so basically knowing all of these stages, right, it can help you make and inform decisions and plan effectively. So of course you don't want to pick a technology that about to become outdated, right? So always keep an eye on what is hot um, in term in the context of technology, and choose wisely for your new product. Okay, so you might think this S-curve like a magic crystal ball. Okay, so basically it gives you a sneak peek into where the present technology is, and it will help you guess what might be the next big thing. Okay, so next, under the step 2 of evaluate and prioritize project is market segmentations. Okay, so market segmentation is a term used in marketing where you group your potential buyers into different segments. Okay, so it is all about splitting your target market into smaller, more specific groups. Okay, so um, you can group your prospect or your customer based on the geographic, behavioral, psychographic, and demographic. Okay, so by doing this, right? So by doing these market segmentations, um, companies can focus on different type of consumers. Okay, so I think you also realize this, right? Okay, so each group, okay, each market segmentation, each market segments, there's this different group of people, they sees the value of product and services differently. Okay, so basically, if you do the market segmentation, this will help the business to tailor their approach and strategy for each of these unique segment. Okay, so basically market segmentations help you understand your customer better. Okay, so you get to know what they need in that particular segment, and you can figure out the best way to meet those needs with your product or services. Okay, so take um, this Volkswagen Group, for example. Okay, so do you know that this Volkswagen Group, they have various label and brand, and each of this brand like BMW, Audi, Bugatti, Ducati, um, they basically target different segment of customer. Okay, so the customer who is interested in Volkswagen or maybe in Bugatti, okay, maybe their preference is, or maybe their budget or preference is slightly different than those who in um, uh, customer who is looking at the, take for example, BMW. Okay, so the why Volkswagen Group have this diverse group um, of brands and label. Okay, the goal is to attract this diverse group of people to each of their product. Okay, as I mentioned just now, each market segment, they have their own specific budget and their own specific preference. Okay, so next is about competitive strategy. Okay, so here you have Jack Welch. Okay, so basically this guy is a highly influential business leader, and he is he is known for his time as CEO in, I think, in GE, General Electric. Okay, so Jack here is famous for transforming GE into a highly profitable company through his innovative management technique. So he famously quote, right? So what he quote just last time: if you don't have a competitive advantage, don't compete. Okay, so what does this quote mean? Okay, so basically this quote emphasizes about the focusing on the strength and developing unique qualities. Okay, so if you have a certain competitive advantage, right, this can set your company apart from your other competitor. Okay, so a competitive advantage means a company has something special that sets the company or firm um, slightly better compared to their competitor. Okay, so basically the company maybe they have some unique qualities, and this will give that company an edge in the market. Okay, so even sometimes, right, these strength and unique features enable the company to distinguish itself from their competitor even before it starts competing. Okay, so for example here, um, this person here, right, so this person here, he have a competitive advantage because he having a rocket booster here. So basically he, when he entered a certain market, right, so um, so he can be in the front when they start venturing into a new market. Okay, so um, yeah, so okay, so let's say you have a shops. Okay, so and you want customer to come to see you instead of the next shops. Okay, a shop of next door. Okay, so you might have a lower prices, or maybe your product are just way better in somewhere, like your product maybe last longer or look cooler. Okay, so by doing this, at least you can convince your potential customer to come to your shop. Okay, because you have certain advantage in your product. So you have, maybe your product is lower price, last longer, and look cooler, right? So to set the company apart, some companies focus on one thing to be the best at. Okay, so take the previous slide for examples, right? Okay, so maybe the company may offer a product that is a low cost, okay, or they might offer a product that is much more superior, or maybe the product have some unique attribute, but it is important to the customer. So I think you have heard about this analysis before. Okay, we call it as SWOT analysis. Okay, so a SWOT analysis help organizations understand where their business stands. Okay, so a SWOT analysis show the organization what they are good at and where the organizations can improve. Okay, so by focusing on the organization's strength and fixing their weakness, this SWOT analysis can help in building a strong competitive advantage. So you can treat a SWOT analysis as a tool or map. Okay, it's like you are planning a journey. Okay, you need to know where you are, where you want to go, and what might get along the way. So what is the abbreviation of SWOT stands for? Okay, so it basically stands for a strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. Okay, so strength and weakness are about what's going on inside, okay, inside the organization's businesses, whereas the opportunity and threat are about what is happening outside, okay, outside of the organizations. Okay, so strength. Okay, so strength here are like the organization superpower in the business world. Okay, this is something that give the organization an edge over their competitor. Maybe the company have an amazing product, or maybe the company have a great team, or maybe they have a super efficient ways of doing things. Okay, all of these strengths might help the organizations to stand out and attract the customer. Okay, whereas weaknesses on the other hand are area where the company might be lagging behind. Okay, so recognizing all of these weakness, right, it will help the firm to fix it before all of these problem become a bigger problems. Okay, so basically fixing this weakness um, stop this problem from dragging the organizations down. Okay, uh, of course it's good to ask questions like where do we lack efficiency, where are we wasting money, where are we wasting time and resources, what do our competitor do better, and what are top customer complaint. Okay, so you can ask all of these questions to understand about your organization's weakness. Okay, so like I mentioned just now, fixing all of this weakness will stop it will stop all the problem from dragging the organizations, right? Okay, so next is opportunity. Okay, so opportunities is like an open door where all the magic can happen. Okay, so these opportunities, if it can be identified, okay, if you can identify it, it will allow the organization a chances to grow or even get even better. And maybe opportunities, right, we're talking about opportunities. Maybe there is a new market that the organizations can enter, or maybe there is a new trend that uh, the com- the company can capitalize on. Okay, so basically by grabbing all of these opportunities, the organization can boost their competitive advantage. Okay, so some questions to help finding the external opportunities are um, what is missing in our market, what could we create or do better than a competitor, what new trends are occurring, what new technology could we use, what opening in the market are there. Okay, so you can ask all of these questions in finding opportunities. Okay, so whereas threat, okay, threat are like storms cloud that you see on the horizons. Okay, so this is all things that could cause troubles. Okay, so a threat can be like a new competitor, or maybe there is a changes in the market. Okay, so if you keep an eye on all of these threats, right, perhaps it can help you to prepare and adapt much more early on. Okay, so some questions that you can ask to help you identify external threats are what changes are occurring in our market environment, what technologies could replace what we do. Okay, so for example now all the programmers there are a bit concerns about the rest of LLM. Okay, like for example ChatGPT, Perplexity. Okay, and then what changes are occurring in the way we are being discovered, what social changes could threaten us, are there any threatening government policies or regulations. Okay. Okay, so this is some statements or questions that can be asked for your SWOT analysis. But at least for this semester, I'm not going to ask the group or for doing the SWOT analysis. And this is a sample of SWOT analysis for a shared manufacturing company. Okay, so you can see the statement that they put for each, okay, for each of the component of the analysis. Okay, so next we're going to talk about product platform planning. Okay, so remember we're still talking about, we are under step 2. So as you all know, developing a product, right, it can be quite a hefty investment, okay, both in terms of time and money. So it is super important for any company to really think carefully about where to invest their resources. Okay, so the concept of product platform is primarily used for planning, decision making, and strategic thinking. Okay, so basically it encompasses the core competency of the organizations. Okay. Okay, so here we have a new product platform. Okay, so a new product platform refer to a set of common elements. Okay, so this can be the underlying technical components, a part that are being used, or technology that being used to develop the product. All all of these are shared across a range of the company product. So basically, the technical component, the part, technology, all of these serve as the foundations upon which a new derivative product can be developed and launched. Okay, so because we know, it is also possible to extend an existing product. Okay, so what we do, we basically take an available product and we develop a variation of the product. Okay, so basically this approach involves on extending the existing product platform to create a new versions. Okay, so this new version, maybe it might appeal to a different market segments, or it might, or this product actually meets some specific needs. And then we also have this incremental improvement to existing product. Okay, so this is about making a small ongoing improvement to a product to keep the product up to date and competitive. Okay, so usually it involves updating certain features or maybe it you want to enhance the performance, or maybe you want to add a new element that the customer requests. Okay, so this idea is to keep the product fresh and appealing, and this will ensure the product meets the current standard and the current customer expectations. So this approach of incremental improvement, it helps maintain interest in the product and can lead to a sustained success in the market. Okay, so apart from that, a company can create a fundamentally new product. Okay, so basically what they do, they develop a completely new product. So this new product can be exciting and potentially more rewarding. Okay, so this is a chance to innovate. Okay, so to break new ground. But as you can see here, when developing a new fundamentally new product, it is a risky business. Okay, and usually it require more resources because you are starting from scratch, and that's mean more research, more development, and more testing. So that's why it is a bit riskier and require much more resources compared to the previous approach. Okay, so now this is the crucial strategic decisions, okay, that you need to consider. Okay, should a project work on developing a derivative product from existing platform, or maybe you might ask, should we create an entirely new product? Okay, so all of this consideration is a big call to make. Okay, so however, usually, right, what is the advantage of product platform? Okay, so product platform can provide several advantages lah. So this include increase in speed in developing new product, and of course, flexible adjustment of manufacturing to create new product. So this can reduce the development cost, and of course, the ability to easily upgrade the products. Okay, and of course, here, if we have these product platforms, right, it can reduce the testing on the new product, because basically you are using a common component, okay, for the product development. So basically, the decisions, right, the decisions really come down to balancing all of these factors. Okay, so cost, time, risk, and potential rewards. Okay, so now we will talk about step 3, which is allocate resources and plan timing. Okay, so this step involves creating a strategy to use available resources effectively in a project. Okay, so often, an organizations overcommit to multiple projects. Okay, when they do this, right, they commit to multiple projects. Usually, they do this without considering the company's limited resources. And what happened? Okay, so consequence. So what is the consequence, right? So this lead to the engineer, the managers, right? All of these worker, they are being stretched across too many projects. So as a consequence, this will result in a significant drop in productivities. So what happened, right? So usually the project will take a longer time to complete, and the product are delayed in reaching the market, or even worse, this may lead to decrease in profit. Okay, so to address this, the company should properly allocate available resources. So they need to plan the project. They need to plan the project as well as conduct a proper product planning. So when we try to do much, but with too few resources, like I mentioned just now, this can lead to a project delays and less productive work. Okay, so therefore, having an effective planning is crucial. This is especially true when managing multiple projects simultaneously. So there should be a plan that strategically organizing tasks and resources. And of course, a proper timing, a proper project timing is also important for the success of product commercializations. Okay, so when you want to develop a project plannings, right, you should pay attention to you should pay attention to when things should happen and in what order. Okay, so company usually they will choose the right moment to launch the product, and they also need to make sure the technology that is needed for the product development is ready when needed. And of course, more importantly, right, you should launch the product ahead of your competitor launching that. So our goal is to create a clear plan for our product development. Okay, so basically in the product planning, it will show who is responsible for what and when. So this will help keep everything organized and on schedule. Okay, so the next stage is project pre-planning. Okay, so the main important factors to be considered during these stages are, we should identify the basic function of the product, and then we should state the value proposition of the product for the customer, and then what is the objective for time, objective for cost, objective for quality, profit, and other. And we also should identify the primary and secondary market for the product, and we also should state the assumption and constraint for the project. And of course, we should list everyone that is affected by the product success or failure. So all of these, right? All of these six items here, in a way, we are preparing our mission statement. Okay, so this is what you're going to complete for your assignment as well. So this is what a typical mission statement looks like. Okay, so the mission statement consists of product description, benefit propositions, key business goal, primary market, secondary market, assumption and constraint, and the stakeholder. Okay, so this is an example that I extract from the textbook, right? Okay, so you can refer this for your assignment. Okay, so this is another example, and that is for the new power lift away cordless upright vacuum platform for whole house cleaning. So after stage 4, next we're going to talk about stage 5, which are to reflect on the result and the process. Okay, so these last steps involve looking back at both the outcome and how we got there. Okay, so even though the product planning seems like a linear process of going from step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, but in reality, the planning is often being amended from time to time to cater for new constraints or challenges. Okay, so yeah, of course, it is good at the end of the product planning, right, to ask these questions here. Okay, so for example, the excitement of the team. Okay, so are the people on the team feeling enthusiastic about the new opportunities? Okay, so as the project leader or the organization, they should identify if the members share the same excitement. Okay, so because if the team member excited, this can significantly impact how they approach the project. Okay, so when the team members are genuinely excited, they are more likely to invest extra effort and bring creative solution to the table. Okay, so I hope at least for your group works, right? Majority of the group member are excited about what has been proposed. Because if you are enthusiastic, right? Okay, if you have this positive attitudes, right? At least we know the team member are more eager to explore new possibilities. Okay, they are more eager to take the challenges. And okay, yeah, so basically understanding the level of excitement can help your team to tailor the project in a way that maximize engagements and productivity. Okay, so does the product give your team competitive edge? Okay, so it is crucial to assess whether the proposed product stand out in the market. Okay, so whether the product does offer something unique or maybe superior than the other companies. Okay, so as we discussed, right? So as we discussed previously, competitive edge can be anything from innovative features or maybe better quality or even cost effectiveness. So if your product offers some competitive advantage, this will help you in attract more customer, and indirectly this will increase the market share and ultimately contribute to the company success uh, or maybe for your group success. And then another question is, do we have enough resources available? Okay, so it is essential to check if your team have all the necessary tools, material and manpower to bring the project to life. Okay, so having sufficient resources means, uh, of course, now I'm talking about the company lah, yeah, because I don't expect your team to produce a prototype. Okay, so the company, so having a sufficient resources, right, means the team can meet the deadline, the company can maintain the quality, and of course by having this they can achieve um, the product development objective that has been set in the statement, in the apa namanya, in the mission statement here. Okay, so basically you can achieve the objective that you stipulated in the mission statement without unnecessary delay or compromise. Okay, so next is the core team excited about the mission statement. Okay, so this matter a lot, um, to see if all member feeling excited about the mission statement. Yeah, this is some typo here. Okay, um, yeah, ignore this. Okay, is the core team excited with the mission statement? Okay, so this matter a lot, if the team member excited about the mission statement, at least there is some sense of belonging. Okay, so if everybody behave the project as their own, okay, so most probably they will contribute 100% in ensuring the success of the product development. Okay, so next, are the stated assumptions realistic? Okay, so it is crucial to examine whether the expectation and premises underlying the project are grounded in reality. Okay, so because unrealistic assumptions usually can lead to poor decision and unexpected setback. And is the development team development team over constraint, or maybe is the development team has been stretched too thin? Okay, so it is important to assess whether the development team is facing too many constraints or pressure. Okay, so this constraint could be in the form of tight deadline, limited resources or maybe overwhelming scope of work. Okay, so you need to remember an over-constrained team can lead to burnout. Okay, even worse, it can lead to decrease in the work quality. So yeah, I hope at least for your group works right. Because as you can see, every week you 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 are presented with a unique assignment for this APID, right? So yeah, I hope you are not that burnt out lah. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I hope you can manage all of this workload, but at the same time you are able to maintain the productivity and your morale in completing your assignment. And then of course in terms of improvements, right, you can ask how can we make the process better. Okay, so improving the process involves looking at how the organizations or how your teams are doing the things. Okay, and ident- and yeah, of course your team need to identify areas where you can make changes for the betterment of the your product outcome. Okay, so I think yeah, that's all for product planning. So yeah, selamat hari raya for those who are celebrating. So yeah, that's all from me. Bye bye.